What is up, Packer fans? Back again. Here we are, week 11. The Packers are coming off the week 10 bye. They sit at 6-3, and they're going on the road, the 208-mile journey down to Chicago to face off against the 4-5 Chicago Bears, who were on a 3-game winning streak until 2 weeks ago. They've lost 2 in a row now. I believe the Cardinals got them, and yesterday the Patriots got them. I think that they were on a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Jaguars over in London, kind of riding high. They thought they were doing something. Obviously the Hail Mary again. The Commanders too, so they lost 3 in a row now. My fault. So 3 in a row. So the Commanders, they lost. Obviously that was the Hail Mary. Jaden Daniels beat Caleb Williams, number 2 pick, beat the number 1 pick. And then they lost to the Cardinals. Tough game. And then yesterday in Chicago against the Patriots, they lost against Drake May, the 3rd pick in the NFL draft. So Caleb Williams, who was the number 1 pick, as we know, out of USC, got beat by Jaden Daniels and by Drake May, 3rd pick. So first, second, and 3rd pick. The second and the 3rd picks beat the first pick. So Caleb Williams, had his ups and downs this year. He's looked okay. I'm not super concerned with his playmaking ability or what he's going to bring to the Bears offense this week. To me, he was undersized coming out, 6 foot, relied a lot on his athleticism to make plays in the NFL. Everybody's a good athlete. So to me, I was kind of questioning a lot of those things. I did hear from Keyshawn Johnson. He talked about how Jaden Daniels, being his nephew, was such a good prospect coming out of college, and he was really the whole package. He had the height and the athletic ability and the throwing skills to be an elite quarterback in the league. So for the Bears to select Caleb Williams, and then, obviously they didn't pick Drake May either, who came in with the Patriots, who some say is like the worst roster in the league, and he won the game. So Bears only scored 3 points yesterday against the Patriots team, like I said, that doesn't have a lot of talent throughout the whole roster, but played well enough to beat the Bears, and now Bears sit at 4-5. They were keeping pace with the Packers and the Vikings, kind of behind the Lions there in first place in the division. Now the Bears have fallen to 4th place, kind of solidified themselves back there. A big game against the Packers this week. Hopefully the Bears and the Packers rivalry lives up to the expectations. It's been, I think, 208 miles from Green Bay to Chicago and 208 meetings. I think this will be the 209th meeting between the two teams, maybe regular season. I have to look at the stats again, but that's insane. Over 100 years of history between these two teams playing. And the Packers, like I said, coming off the bye week, they're going to be looking for Jordan Love to start making some plays like he did in the second half of last season. The second half of last season is when this Packers team really took off. The young guys kind of had some experience now. Jordan Love stopped making the mistakes, and this team really catapulted themselves to be a contender. Obviously, they went to Dallas. They won a playoff game. They held San Francisco to not many points and almost won the game in the end in the divisional round of the playoffs to beat the 49ers, but they just couldn't get it done. So this year, the Packers had a lot of expectations coming in, not really living up to them up to this point. Obviously, we thought the offense would be a little bit more prolific. The defense doing some good things with Jeff Hafley, but 6-3 overall. The Packers overall score 6-3 on the season. Nine games in, 10 weeks in here, going into week 11. And for a 6-3 Packers team, they were 3-6 at this point last year. I really like where they're at. I like what they can build on. I liked what I saw to Josh Jacobs in this running game. Emmanuel Wilson, everybody kind of moving the ball well on the ground. This offensive line playing really well as a unit. Rasheed Walker at left tackle, I really like what he's been able to do. A 7th rounder coming out of Penn State. This guy just, has really lived up to and past all expectations for him. I really am excited about Rasheed Walker on the left side. Then obviously Elgton Jenkins struggled at center in the rain game against Detroit, but at left guard, Elgton Jenkins is an all-pro, Pro Bowl type player. I love having him there. And then Josh Myers, hopefully we get him back this week. There should be some injury updates later this week to see if Josh Myers, the center, is back. Jair Alexander, the star elite cornerback, is back. And then the rookie sensation safety, Evan Williams, see if he is back. Obviously, we know Jordan Love played through all the injuries he's had basically this season. We know he missed 2 games, but hopefully Jordan Love is also healthy coming back from the groin and the knee injuries. However, we know he played against the Lions, but we could see that his mobility was an issue, having a week off, no contact. Hopefully he got some rest. Hopefully all these guys are able to get back in the fold and are able to play. And then, obviously, right guard, Sean Ryan's been kind of solidified at that position. We know Jordan Morgan, the rookie, has played in and out, but he's been hurt, and kind of Sean Ryan's kind of taken over at that right guard spot. And then right tackle is Zach Tom, a guy who coming in as like a fourth rounder, I believe. We didn't really think that he'd be slated to be the starting right tackle, but he's just, since he's come in and played for the Packers, he's done everything they've asked, played all different positions, and he's played really well at them. So I like this offensive line. They're going to just keep getting better and better, playing in unison. And the more time they get playing together, the more time they'll have to get used to each other and really solidify as a solid offensive line in this league. So I'm excited up front. Run the ball, keep the ball on the ground, maintain the clock, do those things. The Bears team, I just don't know if they're going to be able to keep pace with this Packers offense or do much, when it comes to on defense against this Packers offense. So for Green Bay, obviously, it all starts up front. And then for the Packers, obviously, Jordan Love, the receivers on the outside, it starts with them. Also, finishes with them basically. So with the offensive line doing what they do up front, and then the receivers playing well on the outside. Obviously, Romeo Doubs, since his little hiatus, he's played really well the second part of this middle of the season here. Kind of the leading receiver for Jordan Love in this Packers offense. Jaden Reed, he started real hot the first 4 weeks or so, and now he's kind of fallen off since then. He's got to get back to his playmaking ways. He only had like 2 catches, I think, the last week, and not doing much in the return game. So I'd like to see more to Jaden Reed. Hopefully he can settle down and get back to his old playing ways. And then obviously Dontavian Wicks, he's been dropping a lot of passes lately. I want to see him start catching more. He's got like the 3rd most targets on the team and like only the 5th or 6th most catches. So he's got to start catching the ball more. And then obviously Christian Watson just has to get more targets. I like what I see out of Watson, but we just need more targets for him. And then Tucker Kraft and hopefully Luke Musgraves get back this week. Our tight end duo could be a really, really elite, especially with the steps and progress that Tucker Kraft has taken in this last year or so. And so for this Packers offense, I look for them to dominate this Bears defense. Obviously up front for the Bears, they have Montez Sweat. He's a guy you have to focus on and make sure you block up all game. He's a guy that can definitely wreck the game for the Packers. And then they have DeMarcus Walker, and then Gervon Dexter. He's a big guy in the middle to stop the run. So excuse me. So hopefully the Packers can block that up front. Obviously the Packers know the middle linebacker TJ Edwards. He played for the Wisconsin Badgers for a while. Tremaine Edmonds, he's a good middle linebacker also. Edwards is like the weak side linebacker. But then Jack Sanborn, another good linebacker. So the Bears have good linebackers, decent defensive line up front. Packers will have their work cut out for them when it comes to blocking the front 7. And then on the back side of the Bears defense, Jaquan Brisker, he is out. He should be out again this week. But Jalen Johnson, a guy that was left off the top 100 players list, he was upset because Aaron Rodgers was put on it, even though Rodgers didn't play. But Johnson, definitely a top corner in this league. Kyler Gordon, he plays in like the nickel role. And then Tyreek Stevenson, the other corner. Really good players for the Bears there. And then Kevin Byard, a guy that kind of has bopped around a little bit the league. He was really good with the Titans a few years ago. Then he played for the Eagles, I think, last year. Now he's with the Bears. So a guy that's definitely a good player at that safety position, but has kind of moved around a lot for whatever reason. So this Bears defense, obviously they're going to look after getting after Jordan Love, and that's why it's so important for this Packers offensive line to hold up front, block up front. Don't hold up front, block up front, but you know what I mean. Hold solid up front and make sure that Jordan Love has the time, especially if his mobility is still affected because of the injuries to his groin and his knee. We need to make sure that Jordan Love can move around if he needs to and has the time to throw to the receivers if, to make sure they can get open. So run the ball, throw the ball, obviously, and really kind of set up this offense that Lafluer likes to run, play action, get deep crosses over the middle and get guys wide open, scheme guys open. And so I look for Jordan Love and Matt Lafluer to get back in their bag this week and score a bunch of points against this Bears defense. A team that struggled, like I said. They only scored 3 points last week, gave up 19 points to a Patriots team that just doesn't have much talent. I know 19 is not a lot, but for a team that only scored 3, 19 seems like a lot. So on the offensive side of the ball, the Bears going into this season, I thought they'd be a little bit more dynamic. Like I said, I had my question marks about Caleb Williams, but I thought everybody else thinks he's this prodigy. He's like the savior for Chicago, all these things. So I was trying to kind of feed into it. I wasn't trying to buy it all, but I was buying a little bit. And excuse me. And so when they got Keenan Allen, when they drafted Roman Duze. When they got even when they got DeAndre Swift, I was like, whoa, this offense for the Bears is starting to pick things up. The running back Swift, he played for the Eagles last year. He was pretty good. I don't know why the Eagles got rid of him. Obviously, they had a chance to get Saquon, so that's kind of maybe why. But Swift, to me, is a pretty good back. Obviously, they have Roshan Johnson in the backfield, also with him, and then Travis Homer, another running back that's played pretty well. He played for Seattle for a few years. A guy that we know. Obviously, and then the receiving room, to go along with the running backs, they have DJ Moore, a guy they got from the Carolina Panthers. They traded a bunch to get him. He's a playmaker. And like I said, Keenan Allen came over for them Chargers. He's a playmaker, Pro Bowl type player. A little bit older now and not really fitting in this offense like they thought. He had a few touchdowns a few weeks ago, but other than that, has not done much. And then, like I said, Rome Onduze, the University of Washington star receiver. He's played well. He had a big drop this week against the Patriots, and just hasn't played up to his potential either. And then when I saw that they brought in Gerald Everett from the Chargers to go along with Cole Kmet, I thought, oh wow, now they have a tight end duo to go along with the receivers. This team could be pretty good on offense. Everett hasn't done much. Cole Kmet is hit or miss. He's had some good games and then some games where he just doesn't do anything. So for the Bears, they have a lot of weapons, but it doesn't seem that they've come together as a team yet. And so the Packers up front on defense, like I said, hopefully we get Jair Alexander back. But after trading Preston Smith to the Steelers for, I think, a 7th-round pick, it's going to come down to can Lucas Van Ness, Rashawn Gary, Aaron Mosby, Brenton Cox Jr., can they start getting after the quarterback, Kingsley Enagbare? I love what I've seen out of him. Hopefully he gets more snaps and can do a lot more of what he's been doing. But we need Lucas Van Ness, 1st-round pick, to step up a lot more. And then obviously Rashawn Gary is just not living up to the numbers that he's had in years past. Only 2.5 sacks, 10 weeks into the season now, so 9 games in. So for Gary, he's had seasons like this in the past where he hasn't gotten going early, and he's been able to step it up a little bit. Maybe when the games get a little bit colder, there's a little bit different feeling on the field. Maybe we'll be able to run the ball more. Maybe he'll be able to get home more on defense. Kind of what I'm thinking. This Packers defense, takeaways leading the league with 19. I have to check that stat again after the Week 10 bye. I know they didn't play, so somebody could have overtaken them. But 19 this season already. Only had 17 all of last season. And this defense just got to keep flying around. Xavier McKinney on the back end. I love what I see out of him. He's been great. The quarterbacks, Nixon, Stokes, both been playing really well, and the nickel, and then going outside when they have to. Like I said, having Jair back will be a big deal. And then the linebackers, Edrin Cooper, playing out of his mind. I love what this kid does and what he brings to this team. Quay Walker, obviously got to keep him going. He's really a great player. I like what those guys bring in the middle. I want to see what those guys do as they grow up together, like a year or 2 or 3 from now. If they keep playing together in the middle, that's going to be a really tough defense for other teams to go against, especially with those 2 linebackers in the middle there. So I like what I see out of them. And then, again, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, see if he's back this week. He should be. He leads the team in sacks with 3. Him and Kenny Clark keep doing what they're doing down low. Carl Brooks, Colby Wooden, those guys are going to need to step up. Also, getting rid of Preston Smith, a guy that's a veteran. He's been on the team for I think 5.5 years, been in the league for almost 8 now, or 9 now. And so trading him is a big fixture for this team, a guy that's, veteran presence, who's been in big games, all those things. He was keeping our average age up there too, which now dropped down a little bit because he was really messing with our average. So, being one of the older guys on the team and having very few of them on this Packers roster. So for the Packers, it's going to take guys stepping up. Like I said, and Enagbare is going to have to step up. We're going to see more Aaron Mosby after what he did last week, or the 2 weeks ago. I really like what I saw to him. And then Brenton Cox Jr., haven't seen a lot out of him, and I think that's what they want to start seeing more of, and that's kind of why they let Preston Smith go. But for this Packers defense to get after this Bears offense, the Bears, I think Caleb Williams was sacked 8 or 9 times against the Patriots, so I know the Packers are going to be seeing that, and they're going to be trying to get after him. I don't know what's going on with the Bears in this offense or Caleb at this point, but I think the Packers can really, confuse them and mix them up and force some turnovers, get after them, maybe sack them a few times, see what they can do in Chicago against these Bears. I love Bears week. The Bears still suck. They always will. They're the team that I probably hate the most. Cowboys are second place, and then the rest of our division. Lions always sucked for so long, so they weren't really very high. Vikings are up there. I think they're probably 3rd or 4th, but it's always been the Bears. Always been the Bears. Go Pack, go. The Bears still suck. Go Packers. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace out. Go Pack, go. Just beat the Bears. Just beat the Bears. All right, peace.